guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing an update on my project pan for 2020. You probably forgot because I haven't posted an update in like 6 months, but I decided to try to do a rolling project pan this year. Now I am not what I would call a project panner. It is not my forte, and when I committed to doing this, it was, pre-pandemic. So I've generally cut myself a lot of slack this year when it's come to actually completing said project pan. However, I have, in fact, managed to go through quite a few things this year. So today I'm going to be showing you my progress. It is already December, so I'm going to consider this kind of the end of the project. I'm clearly not going to be adding anything new because there is no way I will finish anything new in the next 2 weeks. And I'm also going to share my other empties that I have on hand to round things out so we can start fresh with new empties for a new year. Totally unrelated aside, I finally got to use this Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane palette today. I did do a little swatch video. It's over on my Instagram now if you'd like to check it out, but today was the first time I actually got to put one of these shades on my eyes, and I used this shade right here, ACI3, all over my lids today, and dang guys, it is stunning. Also, if you could just hear that, that was a snow plow truck driving by my house. It is a snowy, slushy, rainy, gross day today, so please excuse. Anyway, I did film the look that I am wearing right now, so I will be posting that to my Instagram as well. I've been trying to up my beauty influencer game and actually film myself whenever I'm doing my makeup so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So if you would like to see how I created this look and see how I've created other looks that I've been wearing here on my channel, Instagram, go check it out. All I want for Christmas is to hit 10,000 subs so I can have the freaking swipe up feature. I know it's never gonna happen because I'm way too far away, but a girl can dream. Anyway, enough tangents. Let's get back into this project pan update. So why don't we talk about the things that I didn't finish first. So this guy here, I kind of almost forgot that I put in the project for like the first half of 2020. It's probably because I was a little distracted, with the pandemic. As you guys know from the Getting Ready With Me video that I posted a couple of weeks back, this has been a really weird and stressful year for me, and it's been a pretty weird and stressful year for a lot of us. So I felt like my makeup wearing was a lot more inconsistent, especially in the first half of this year, than it was in any previous year. Needless to say, this is a product I feel like I just didn't even think to reach for quite a while, and then in the latter half of 2020 I was trying to hurry to make up for lost time. And while I do feel like I made solid progress on here, I can see the bottom of the bottle now. There is some product clinging to the sides, but this is pretty empty. There definitely is still, however, quite a few uses left in this. And this is a very concentrated foundation. You don't really need a lot to cover your entire face, so it does take that much longer to go through a bottle. And in case you are unaware what this is that I'm holding up, this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion foundation. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations. As a person with oily skin, this formula, c'est magnifique. It is very thin, but it has really, really good coverage. It's lightweight and breathable, but it's got a really nice matte finish. It helps to control shine, and it is truly very long wearing. And now I actually have 2 bottles of this because the first bottle that I purchased, Macadamia here, is a little bit too light for me, and then they expanded the shade range, and the shade Latte is a better match. So I typically would mix these together to kind of create whatever my perfect shade was at the moment, since my skin tone definitely flexes over the course of the year as I get tan and then lose said tan. And that is another reason why it has taken me what feels like a century to go through this, because I pretty much never use this shade all on its own. And this is the only one that I put in the project. I did not try to commit to finishing both of these because that would be a little much. But yeah, the recommended shelf life on this guy is 12 months. And let me tell you, I did not purchase this in 2020. So It definitely has overstayed its welcome in my makeup collection, and I did get a lot of love and use out of this product. So I think ultimately I am going to just declutter this as I finish out this series. But I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that I will always have a bottle of this foundation in my collection just because I like it so much. Now, as far as progress goes, so you guys can see, here is the front of the bottle. Here is the back. Oh my God, Snowplow Man, can you please? So rude. And I feel like in this back corner, you can really see here, like, I've definitely made some solid progress. I'm down to the bottom. There's just product that's really stuck on the sides, but I feel like, you know, I got some pretty good use out of this. So let's stick with foundations, because this is another one that I haven't really finished, but I did hit pan on this in my last update back in the spring, so I do still feel happy with that. And that is this Wander Beauty Wanderlust Powder Foundation. So as you guys can see, let me hold this up for you. I did hit pan in this compact. I did continue to use it for a little while to try to finish up more of it, but clearly I still, you know, have quite a bit of product in here. However, again, this is another product with a recommended 12-month shelf life, and I've had this probably already for, I don't know, at least 2 years, if not longer than that. So I feel like this is also something I probably should just throw away. I do also feel like the consistency is off a little bit from what it used to be when I first got this. So again, cannot consider this an empty, but I do feel like I made good progress on this in 2020. I got some last good uses out of it. It had a good life in my makeup collection, and now it's time to say goodbye. Then there is the Makeup Forever Artist Face Color in S112. This, I feel like, is the bronzer that keeps on bronzing, the contour that keeps on contouring. It will not end. I used this so much, and I still have not hit pan on it yet. Now, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this on camera, but there is definitely like a good dip in this pan. Like, I've used it a bunch, I would expect there to be. But despite the fact that this is kind of like a small compact, I think it must be pretty packed with product and actually pretty deep, because it just keeps on going. Now, I know this is also fairly old at this point. However, I don't think I'm going to declutter it yet because the consistency hasn't gone off. I feel like it is still blending pretty nicely, and this is a beautiful face powder. The shade of this, S112, is definitely better for contouring, I have found. I don't love it as much now for all over face bronzing, but if I want to make my cheekbones look a little bit more sculpted, this does act like a beautiful contouring powder. And I think honestly that's part of the reason why I also was unable to finish this, because I stopped wanting to use it all over my face and just concentrated it more on areas that I wanted to contour. So I feel like that did slow down my progress a little bit. So that was a little bit of a womp womp, but I do like the product, so I am glad to still have it in my collection. And I would say that my bronzers are definitely the most reasonable section of my entire makeup collection. I don't have an overabundance of them, so I don't feel as guilty, I guess, not hitting pan on this or not going through this, because it's not like I have 15 other bronzers sitting waiting to be used. Next, there is this guy right here from Patchology. This is the Lip Service Gloss to Balm treatment. This was something that I added into the project during my last update after having finished off something else that I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. And clearly, as you guys can see, this I didn't finish either. I mean, I definitely made good progress on it. I feel like, you know, the product is down to about here from where we started with a full tube, but it's nowhere near being completely done. And the reason I was unable to finish this is that I stopped wanting to put it on my mouth because the scent and taste started to go off. So here's the thing about this product that I feel like you guys need to be aware of. It is a really nice gloss balm hybrid. It makes your lips look really shiny. It gives them a lot of nice moisture. The scent and taste is a really pleasant, sweet mint. However, the suggested shelf life of this from when you open it is 3 months. 3 months. I want to know, of all of you out there, how many of you are able to finish an entire lip balm in 3 months? I do think it's possible, but I feel like you would have to have like only 1 or maybe 2 dedicated lip balms that you used every single day to actually go through one of them. If you're a crazy makeup hoarder like I am though, and you have like 10 plus options, like there is literally no way. So I feel like it is important to keep that in mind if you are choosing to pick this up. I do think it's a really nice product, but I think if you are someone like me who has a lot of lip glosses and a lot of lip balms and you rarely go through a product, this one may end up expiring before you can really get your money's worth out of it. And then we move into the things that I actually did successfully finish up. Well, I guess technically there is one thing that I didn't, but we'll get there. Okay, so maybe 2 things, super technically, but you know what? I am going to consider this first one like close enough. So this is the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. So this is how much I have left in here. There is like a little teeny itsy bitsy tiny bit. And quite frankly, I was just really over it. I liked this powder a lot when I first got it, especially when it still had the cooling sensation. This is the trippiest powder I have ever used. When you put it on your face, it feels like you are putting something wet and cold on your face, but it is a powder. However, that sensation doesn't last that long as far as like the shelf life of the product. Even though I always was good about closing the internal cap and putting the lid on right away, I would say within a month and a half-ish, it was basically just like using a regular powder. And truthfully, like I don't think you could go through this entire thing in a month, even if you tried, unless you were really, really going overboard with the powder. I am 100% in the same camp as Robert Welsh when it comes to powder. I think less is more. I'm oily. I like to set down my T-zone just because I feel like I need a little extra security in my areas where I have large pores. But I don't set under my eyes anymore, and I don't necessarily need to set down my entire face. So it just takes me a lot longer to go through powder, and honestly, knowing how many others I have, I just felt like, why take away the time that I could be spending using my newer, fresher powders to trying to finish this that's dried up and crusty and like the texture is gone off from what it used to be. So yeah, long story short, I would not repurchase this. I feel like the Zoeva Authentic Skin finishing powder gives you a very similar finish on the skin. It's very blurring, it's very light and soft. It obviously doesn't have the cool Hydra Mist kind of feature that this did, but it doesn't last with this product anyway. So at the end of the day, I would just rather have the Zoeva one. It's also way more affordable and there's a better shade range. Then we move into skincare. 2020, at least prior to my getting Kira, was definitely a year of skincare for me. Being stuck at home, not going anywhere. Like I said, I really wasn't into wearing makeup quite as much. But for a while there, I was really, really good with my skincare routine. I'm slowly but surely starting to get back into it now that I feel like Kira can be a little more independent. I don't have to like watch her every second. She kind of has full run of the house now and I don't have to worry about her like eating everything. So this fur mama is trying to get back into her regular beauty routine. But at least through July, I was able to really make some progress with using some stuff up. So first is the Peter Thomas Roth Peptide 21 Lift and Firm Moisturizer. The serum was also in this project and I finished that earlier this year. This is a great line from Peter Thomas Roth. It is hella expensive, but I feel like it does deliver the results. If you are able to get these products, I feel like on sale, they would definitely be worth it. They're filled with 21 different peptides, hyaluronic acid, squalene, just like a bunch of really good ingredients to help minimize signs of aging, help to kind of restore the elasticity, plumpness in your skin, give you a little bit of a glow. It's just really, really nice. Even like the bottles, they feel hefty. They're glass, but they are completely opaque, so you know that the ingredients are not getting exposed to air and light, which is going to help them maintain their efficacy over time. So like the shelf month on these is 18 months, which I think is really, really generous for a skincare product. So yeah, I liked this a lot. The moisturizer especially, I felt like was a good balance of being nourishing and moisturizing feeling without being too greasy or heavy. It's got a little bit of a like silicone-y almost texture to it, so you can feel that it like has that nice glide around your skin. It wears nicely under makeup. And this bottle did last me quite a while. You get 3.4 fluid ounces of product, and you really only need like a solid pump or two, I feel like, to cover your entire face and neck. So even though it is expensive, I feel like you're guaranteed to get several months of use out of the bottle. So at least there's that. Then next, I also finished the Dermalogica pre-cleanse. Now, I did also add to the project the special cleansing gel, which is the other thing I did not finish and I forgot to grab it. It's currently in my bathroom. This bottle of pre-cleanse has 5.1 fluid ounces of product, whereas the special cleansing gel I think has like 8 or something. There's a lot of product in that bottle, so that is why I definitely was unable to finish it at the same time that I finished this. Now, I did end up liking this product. I felt like it did a decent job of breaking down my makeup. It's essentially a cleansing oil, but I feel like there are definitely a few things about it that may not be everybody's cup of tea. There are tons of essential oils in here. Dermalogica packs a lot of essential oils into all of their products. So if your skin tends to be sensitive to fragrance, sensitive to essential oils, you probably want to steer clear of their line. I didn't mind it so much in this because it's something that's not sitting on your skin for a long time and you're just washing it off. But my skin is also not like the most sensitive, so I could imagine it may not work for everyone in that respect. I also find it to be a little messier than a cleansing balm because it's an oil. When you pump it into your hand, it's a liquid and it is quite watery, so you kind of have to work quick to massage it into your face, or it's like dripping down your arms, you know? So I don't know, I just think a cleansing balm is just a little bit easier if I'm being super nitpicky, and it's expensive. Like, I'm pretty sure the duo of this and the special cleansing gel is like $80-ish, which is a lot of money to spend washing your face. After I finished this, I rotated in the Benelico Clean Zero Cleansing Balm, and I've been really enjoying that one, and that one is $20. Now, I don't know that I would necessarily get as many uses out of that as I got out of this, because that has maybe about 3 ounces of product, and again, this one does have 5.1, and this did last me a while. So who knows, maybe even though you're forking over more money up front with Dermalogica, if their bottles are fairly large and the products do last you like 6 months, maybe you would actually end up spending less money than on cheaper products you have to repurchase every 2 to 3 months. Needless to say, I'm not going to run out and rebuy this, mostly because I have other things on hand. I wouldn't be opposed to using this again in the future though, because again, I do feel like it did an effective job of breaking down my makeup. So now we've moved on from snow plowman to guys who are shoveling the walkways in my condo, which I am very appreciative of because I don't have to do it. It's just noisy as heck. So again, I'm sorry. Now, I know I mentioned having finished the Peter Thomas Roth Peptide 21 serum in my last update, and I replaced that in the project with the Volition Beauty Strawberry Sea Serum, and I am happy to report that I also finished this entire baby up. And I actually really enjoyed this product a lot, which is why I was able to blow through the whole thing. This is a very lightweight serum that I feel like did a really nice job of keeping my skin looking bright, helping to reduce texture a little bit. I also feel like it helped me kind of keep my skin well balanced. I didn't notice that I was extra oily while I was using this, even though I was using it in the summertime. So I would 100% use again. And actually, I do have another bottle of this in my cabinet right now. I'm testing out some other serums, so I haven't cracked into it yet, but I'm excited to go back to this. Now, after finishing the Strawberry Sea Serum, I moved on to yet another serum, and I actually finished that one also, which made me feel like such a rock star. I feel like I have not finished as much skincare as I did this year. Like, I just have been so consistent with using the same products and actually finishing them up. It just made me feel really good. And that serum is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. This is one that I had heard good things about. I remember some people got this in their BoxyCharm box last year. I was not one of those people. I actually bought this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I think this past spring. And this has peach extract and a peptide complex. I feel like it may also have had niacinamide. Yes, it did. And niacinamide, I feel like, has been amazing for my oily skin. It has been probably the only ingredient in a skincare product that when I use it consistently, I notice my skin is actually less oily. So this, I also felt like worked really, really well for me. I didn't have any irritation with it. There's no added fragrance in here. I didn't notice that my skin had increased texture. If anything, I feel like my skin generally broke out less and was less oily and just was a little bit less textured, had a little bit more of a glow. It's just really nice. And the consistency on this is, again, quite lightweight, sinks nicely into the skin, and it doesn't leave you feeling sticky or tacky, which I generally prefer. Now, while we're on the topic of niacinamide, even though this is not a product that was in my project pan, it is something that I finished recently and I wanted to tell you guys about, and that is the Good Molecules Niacinamide Brightening Toner. Now, I don't know the last time I went through an entire bottle of toner, to be perfectly honest, because I'm so often trying new things and rotating through products. I typically end up giving things away after I've used it for maybe a month or two, just because I don't want the product to go to waste. But this was something that I used to the last drop because I loved it and I didn't want to use anything else. So this on the bottle says it's formulated with niacinamide, vitamin C, arbutin, and licorice root extract to brighten and improve the appearance of enlarged pores. And let me tell you, I feel like it really does deliver. I used this pretty much every day after I washed my face, before I put on my serum. And again, I just feel like this summer, my skin did so well. It wasn't overly greasy like it normally is. I didn't have a ton of texture and breakouts, and I attribute a lot of that to the skincare that I was using, which includes this product. Good Molecules is also so reasonably priced. Their products are very affordable. I think this is like $12 maybe for 4 fluid ounces of product. And they're also very eco-ethical and environmentally conscious. So this bottle is made of glass because glass can be recycled infinitely where plastic cannot. And I know they're very thoughtful about how they source their ingredients and making sure that they are not doing harm to the places where their ingredients are being farmed from. So yeah, 100,000% would recommend, will be rebuying. Right now I'm using that Dr. Zenovia toner that I shared in my recent PR haul video, so I will be giving you guys some thoughts on that in the near future. But spoiler alert, I would say at the end of the day, I probably would still rather repurchase this. Okay, so there's one last product that was in my project pan. So before we get back to the rest of my empties, let me show that to you guys. And that is the Pure Lease Perfect Glow BB Cream. Finally finished this guy. This was also a product that just was a gift that keeps on giving. I could not seem to get to the bottom of this tube. I finished this probably in September or so, and I feel like in the last 2 weeks that I was using it, it was like every time I sat down to do my makeup, I thought it would be the last time I would be able to get anything out of this. And no, it would be like, nope, there's still a good amount in here. And then I would sit down to use it again the next day and be like, well, this has got to be it. Nope, it just kept on going. Eventually though, I got to the point where it was starting to be hard to squeeze out. So I just called it good enough, because I felt like I got some solid use out of this product. And funny enough, like maybe 2 weeks or so after I finished this, I got a PR package from Pure Lease with another BB cream in it. They launched a new version with vitamin C, so that's what they sent to me. And unfortunately, they sent me the wrong shade. They sent me the shade light, and I typically wear the shade medium in this. So especially in September, when I still definitely had a tan, it looked way too like ghostly light on me. But I just thought that was funny because I almost kind of felt a little pure leased out after having finished this, because it just was taking me so long, and I spent 2 weeks kind of thinking that I was at the end and I wasn't. But yeah, this is a nice BB cream. I feel like it does provide good coverage. It's very glowy, very hydrating. I think if you have dry skin, you probably would really enjoy this. As a person with oily skin, this is something that will get fairly shiny on me. By the end of the day, I definitely have to touch it up, use some blotting sheets, because I'll look a little greasy after 6-7 hours. But I like that there's SPF in here, and I like the finish upon application. It's very skin-like and natural. So this was something I always enjoyed for weekends, for light makeup days, for like the kinds of days where you're not really going anywhere except to maybe the grocery store and you just want to have a little something on your face, because it just makes everything look a little more even and a little more perfected without looking too makeup-y. All right, so just a few more empties to share with you guys. I used up a body wash. This was from the Body Shop, and it was the Wonderfully Wonky banana scent. I actually have the body cream of this as well. This legit smells like a banana popsicle or banana Laffy Taffy. It has that super nostalgic, very artificial banana scent to it. But quite honestly, I love that scent. I was the kid that like banana and root beer were my favorite popsicle flavors, like orange, cherry, grape. No, give me the banana. So this was just fun to use. I don't feel like it was a particularly special formula. It's a creamier body wash. It lathers nicely. It gets you clean, but I feel like the Body Shop tends to be expensive unless you're getting their stuff on sale. So this is the kind of thing that like I wouldn't run out necessarily and repurchase. I'm actually using a body wash from Method right now that I got for free in one of my Grove collaborative orders, and it's awesome. I love it, and I know that that huge massive bottle is like $9. Then there is this body butter from Truly Organic, which I clearly did not actually finish. I only really got through half the jar, but this went off on me. It smells totally stale and like really, really bad, and this used to smell incredible. So this is an all natural body butter, body lotion that's basically just a blend of different oils and butters from plants. And when I first got it, it smelled very sweet, almost like fruity frosting, and it's a beautiful looking product. I mean, the actual butter itself is all multicolored, and it's got this whipped consistency to it. It does remind me like legitimately of butter in the sense that it's primarily fats, so it's like a solid texture, but it'll melt with the warmth of your hands into an oil, like a liquidy, greasy consistency, and it does go on very greasy onto your skin, which is nice if you like really want to lock in moisture. Like after a shower, this would be really nice to slather yourself in, especially if you're a night showerer and you're just gonna like put on pajamas and get in bed. But I'm just really disappointed that it went bad so quickly. I feel like I bought this. I mean, I know I bought this year, and it says it has a shelf life of 6 months once opened. So it's definitely been more than 6 months, you know, now since I bought it. But I feel like it went off less than 6 months after I bought it, which had me really disappointed. I don't know if it was just like old, you know, in the warehouse when Ulta shipped it to me. I just felt like even though this is an organic product, and I know there aren't preservatives in organic products the way there are in non-organic products, like they just don't tend to last as long, this I just felt like went bad way too quickly. It is pretty expensive, especially for such a small jar. This is like $20 for 4 ounces. So needless to say, even though the aesthetic is cute and I loved the way that it smelled when I got it, I don't think I would repurchase this. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk the Sigmagic Brush Shampoo foam. I think in my last Empties video, I had the liquid version of the brush cleaner in there. I know I finished one of those this year as well, and I just recently finished up the foam version. The Sigma brush cleaning products are really good in my opinion. I feel like they do an excellent job of breaking down makeup on your brushes and getting them really clean without leaving like any kind of residue behind. I think both the foam and liquid versions of the Sigmagic basically clean the same. The one nice thing about the foam is that it doesn't travel. The thing I didn't like about the liquid is that it's very watery, and while it does suds up really nicely, if you are pumping it onto their mat that you put in your sink to clean your brushes, the liquid will like run right off of it. It's not a thick gel that will kind of stay in place. It doesn't have that viscosity to it. It just runs right down into your sink, whereas the foam, because it's a foam, will just stay where you put it. So I feel like I wasted a lot less product when I used the foam, which is also probably why it lasted me longer than the liquid. Now, I know there are a lot of things out there you can use to clean your brushes. You could use baby shampoo, you could use regular shampoo that maybe you don't like using on your hair, so you want to just use it up. So it may or may not be necessary to go out and buy this from Sigma. This is also fairly pricey. I think it's like $16 maybe for one of these bottles. So in the end, I think it's gonna come down to like how picky you are about your makeup brushes and what types of brushes that you have. I feel like if you own a lot of natural hair bristle brushes, having a brush cleanser that is designed to not dry the bristles out and to take good care of them may be worth the investment. And like if you could find this on sale, like which Sigma does often have sales, like then it might totally be worth picking this up. All right, you guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed hearing all of my thoughts on these products. If you did, I hope you will consider giving this video a thumbs up. I always appreciate your support so much. Definitely let me know if you did a project pan this year, how it went for you. Did you find it to be easier or harder given all of the circumstances of this year? Even though I didn't get through everything I put into my project pan for this year, I'm still really glad that I did it, and I feel like it did help encourage me to go through my skincare especially, which I do feel really good about. So I'm glad that I took on the challenge. Will I do a project pan for 2021? Not entirely sure. Verdict is still out. But I will still always keep you guys posted on products that I'm finishing up in my Empties series. On that note, I'm gonna let you guys go, but thank you again so much for taking some time out of your day to hang out with me. If you're new, I hope you will consider clicking that subscribe button before you go. That way yours truly will show up in your subscription feed and we can hang out together again in the future. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. So rude, Snowplow Man.